All right. What's up, everybody? This is your boy Alabai, and I am live right here on Rhythm and Vibes.
Alabai, yeah. DCCRA, Cook
All
Beats.
right, my name is, or my names are, as they always say these days, Sylvester Sunday Ekot Anna. I am from Akwa Ibom State, and my stage name is Alabai. I grew up in Festac Town. I was born and raised in Festac Town, and I was once an on-air personality on radio, and I attended the University of Calabar. I studied chemistry. Funny that I'm doing music now. I studied chemistry, and I'm also an actor. Of course, I've not really dabbled into Nollywood, but you'll see me in a couple of movies soon. Don't worry. So I'm also an actor, a voiceover artist, and what else? I love that. So that's virtually everything about me. Almost everything. Wow, my journey into music happens to be very interesting, a very interesting one. When I was a kid, I realized that I liked poetry so much. I was obsessed with poetry. Poetry happened to be second nature to me as a kid, and growing up, I just had this obsession for it. Then I dabbled into rap music. Rap became my first obsession musically, as a child. And growing up way back then, we used to hear people like Houdini, LL Cool J, and then later on EPMD, the Wu-Tang Clan, and all that. And these people actually influenced me so much that I got so obsessed with it, and I thought about making my own rap songs. And when I was a kid, I started writing my own rap songs as a very young boy. I remember I wrote my very first rap song when I was 10 years old. So that feeling was always quite, interesting to me. And the more I wrote songs, the better I became at it. And ever since then, at the same time, simultaneously, I realized that, I had an obsession for music as well. It wasn't just rap music, but music in general. And we all like listening to Michael Jackson, the likes of Prince, the likes of Earth, Wind and Fire, Shalama, as kids way back then. And later on, I dabbled into this guy called Seal, and Seal became a strong influence in my life. That's like a music keyboard for me. That's like a music playbook for me. And ever since I got in contact with Seal's music, I became obsessed with that kind of sound. And I got into alternative music through listening to Seal, Lenny Kravitz, AC/DC, Metallica, Crash Test Dummies, Woody and the Bluefish, all these wonderful bands, Bon Jovi and the rest of them, U2 and all that. So it became, there are two sides to me, it's the singing part, and the rap part. So that actually happens to be that. It was more like having two sides to a story, So it wasn't just about rap music, but also rap music and singing. So I had this obsession for these two art forms, singing and rapping, and that's what makes Alabai who Alabai is. Def O Clan was actually created by me, and I named the band Def O Clan. And I met a couple of guys in Festac Town way back then. Shout out to Rabbi, rest in peace, he passed away 2 years ago. And I met Azadus, if you all know Azadus. We all met Azadus, and we started the band Defo Clan way back in, wow, time flies, the early 2000s. And we started that revolutionary rap music and, creating that rap concept and that rap campaign. I would say we had lots of bands in Festac Town way back then, like Raw Forgotten Raw, Nitro, Defo Clan. So, Defo Clan did play a big part in my music experience, definitely did. Well, it was interesting. We used to go to concerts way back as kids growing up. We had concerts somewhere in. One of the major concerts we had was in a place called Lekki Beach. We had this guy called Mr. Majek, and he had this great concert called the DTD Fest. It happened virtually Saturday, so that was more like a rehearsal ground for me. I got used to crowd control and how to get to interact with the crowd, and we had people like Sound Sultan, Two-Face, Blackface, and Face when they made Plantation Boys. It was a grooming ground for us, and we had couple of concerts here and there, and that really gave me a grounding that was more like a grounding period for me and a formative period in my career as an artist. So yes, definitely plan to play a big part in my career. Yeah. Well, the quest for going solo actually comes from, the quest for greatness. We all want to have that, our careers blossoming in the spotlight. And I wouldn't want to say that I left my band, or I just had this drive to want to do my own thing myself, and make Alabai become a global brand. We're still in the journey, even though it's taking a long time, but we're getting there. Definitely, we're gonna get there. Well, Voice of God came out as a curiosity. It was more like a curiosity concept. I had this idea of doing something different, like I always do. My music is always gonna have to have this difference, when it comes to, it has to be different from what everybody else does. But Voice of God came as a result of my own curiosity, based on if I could talk to God, what would He say back to me? So I was thinking, I like to pray, and someday I just thought about asking God questions and what would He say if He replied back to me. So I put that concept into a conversation, and that's how Voice of God came to me. As an artist, I happen to be very optimistic. When I write a song, I expect it to be a smash hit. Just like my album coming up right now. And Ogbanje was a surprise, trust me. Because when I recorded the song, lots of people were like, this is not gonna fly, it's not too fast, Nigerians like that fast tempo song. But shout out to a couple of guys who had faith in the song, and they said, let's go ahead. So we promoted the song, shot the video in South Africa, and the video came up to be a very nice video. And the song became a smash hit. I remember I was going to a certain station to promote the song. While getting there, I heard them playing the song already. So I went back, I was like, there's no need to promote the song here at all. So it was really, really impactful, and it was a huge song.
Sometimes I think I'm going insane, Sometimes I just think I'm going insane, going insane.
Cook Beats happens to be a friend of mine in Festertown. I knew Cook Beats sometime around 2007, thereabout. We were just young guys in Festac pursuing this music thing. And I remember he played a couple of productions for me, some of his beats, and I was like, wow, this guy is really good. So we became close friends, and I remember I went to the studio one day. Ogbanje was a very, very funny song. Ogbanje was produced in about 45 minutes. I just went to his studio and he was sleeping, and I tapped and said, guy, there's this song. I kept on telling him about this song, Ogbanje, in my head. So he really didn't have too much of an idea of how the tempo was going to be. So I just gave him the guideline that I wanted to sound this, give it that Zouk's kind of feel into it. And he just followed through, and he's an amazing producer, very talented guy. Well, because it's it's a sentimental song, number one, a lot of people, definitely everybody must have fallen in love with someone. Turned your brains upside down. There must have been that girl or that guy in your life that had actually turned you inside out, one way or the other, except maybe you're just a sadist or something. But Ogbanje was a song that I think a lot of people connected to, based on the fact that it connected to the love lives of virtually almost everyone. And I feel that people connected to it because of the storyline behind it. Hey, this girl wants to scatter my brain. So it's just a sentimental feeling, a feeling that people would have been or would have experienced at one point in their lives. So I think that was one of the driving forces behind the song, to give it that connection that it had then. I remember I was in school then, and Black called me. I was supposed to have a song with Two-Face. Two-Face and I were meant to have a song then. Black happens to be it's really close to me. So Black called me up and said, man, guy, there's this song I want you to be on. Because prior to that period, there was a concert Naughty by Nature came to do in Nigeria, and I got on stage and I blew the concert up, and everybody went crazy. Just about a minute or so on rap with the microphone, and Tretch called anyone from the crowd, and I walked up to the stage and I grabbed the microphone and I blew everybody up. And Black, ever since that day, became a huge fan of mine, and he was like, guy, there's this song I want you on. So he called me, and I finished my exams when I came to Lagos. We recorded the song, and I remember we had to go to Ikeja to record the song. So we recorded the song. The studio was really nice, and we had this guy Omodolu who mixed the song, because I really wanted the mix to be so heavy. So we spent hours mixing that song, and it turned out to be so good. So Marvelous Benji, I think, did the beats. I think Marvelous produced the song. Yeah, that was Marvelous producing the song, and the kick and the snares and everything had to pound. So I was in the studio and I made sure I had to be. I'm a perfectionist, so I didn't want any flaws because I was on the song. So Black and I did a classic like that.
Take me away. I don't think I can really walk this way. I don't know what I should say.
Compared to what it is right now, I think then it was more stressful. And at the moment, it's not as, it's how would I say, it was, in the early 2000s, it was much more, music was much more organic then, you know, much more organic then. It was much more real. It was not as, would I want to use the word sophisticated? No, I don't think I want to use sophisticated, but not as volatile as it is right now. Then, if you don't really understand the essence of your art, you will not be able to perform as an artist. You will not be able to break through as an artist. But now anyone can just have a studio in his room and just use auto-tune and use so-called AI or whatever it is and make beats and make stuff and just come out as an artist and say you're an artist. Way back then, you had to grind your voice. We hardly heard auto-tune then. So if you really don't know how to sing, you could tell. Anyone was there, this guy is not you. It was obvious. He just need to sell you out. So it was more. It was. I was sorry for using the word stressful, but I think it was much more organic. You had to be really, really deeply rooted in music to be a music artist way back then. Okay, first of all, to the new generation of artists, music is no competition. That's the first thing I'll let you guys understand. Don't try to compete with anyone. Do your thing. Don't think you have to sound like anybody to be an artist. Don't think your music has to sound a certain way. That is what, because when I get on social media and I get on radio sometimes, I hear 20 songs, 30 songs, they all sound the same. The same cadence, the same beat tempos, the same style, the same lyric concepts. And I think that is just taking this industry to just one direction. When one artist makes a hit song with one tempo or one style, everybody wants to sound like that. And they think there's no other way out. So you have to be authentically you. You have to be yourself. You have to make sure that you stay on your path, stay on your lane, believe in your dreams and believe in your craft. And to my fans, I am so grateful to have you guys supporting Alabai as a brand. And I know that it's been a while. You all have been patiently waiting for something from Alabai. Just please don't lose the patience. My album will be coming out anytime soon. I pray this year. Singles will come out this year definitely, because I happen to be an independent artist and it's not really easy. I don't have any label, I don't have any support, I don't have anyone backing me up. I'm doing all this by myself with my own money, so it's really, really stressful. It's not that easy. So, but what I can say to you guys is that watch out. Keep supporting me, keep supporting the brand, and you will be surprised.
Her seduction's getting me in the groove. I think I'm getting confused. I'm like a bomb that needs to be.
All my fans out there, I want to use this medium to apologize to you guys. I know you guys have been asking this question, where has Alabai been? Where has this guy been? That's what I hear every single day. But I will tell you for free that I have been really, really trying everything I can to get my album is almost done right now. I've been doing this on my own, like I said earlier on. It has not been easy. When you happen to be a solo artist, an independent artist, it is very frustrating because you have bills to pay, you have, everything to do, go on with your life with. So balancing that with music is really not easy. But by the grace of God, I'm so grateful that I have been able to record a full album, and it should be out anytime soon by the special grace of God. So just keep having patience, support the brand. Follow me on Instagram at I am Alabai. Follow me on TikTok at Alabai Official. Follow me on Twitter at Alabai_sir. And so many handles. And on Snapchat, it's Alabai Sings. And on YouTube, it's Alabai Official. Thank you so much for the support. I really, really appreciate it. And I am not going to let you guys down because my album, whew, I've put in so much work. I've spent so much money. I've invested a whole lot into it. And I believe that by the special grace of God, with your support, we will get the Grammys.
The cocaine dealer and she's sniffing the cocoa, the cocoa. She always drinks in the bar and she's burning the dodo, the dodo.
Hey yo, what's up everybody? This is your boy Alabai and I am signing out on Rythm and Vybz.